Welcome back to another No Limits video. In this video we're going to have a look at my new TJ that I've bought. So this is, I believe, the cheapest TJ on Marketplace. So some of you might have spied it in the background of some other videos, but this is a 1997 TJ Wrangler. It's, according to the big sticker on the bonnet, a Grizzly, which I think is just a sticker. I don't think you got anything special. As you can see, it's a soft top with full doors, and I actually traded the Grand Cherokee for this thing, so you can put whatever value you want on it from there. I can tell you that the guy I traded has since sold the Grand, and he got $1,500 for that car. So anyway, let's delve in and have a bit of a look at this thing and see what you think. Righto, so let's start with all the good things about this TJ, and it being an awesome deal. So up the front, it already has a Smitty built front bar on it with a winch. It has driving lights, it's had upgraded headlights, the tinted front blinkers. It has a fairly nice soft top already on it. As you can see, it sits fairly high, so it does have a 4-inch lift in it, which is all, I believe, well, it's rough country shocks, I'm not sure what springs, and it has got some of the replacement arms on it. It has a crossover steering setup on it. It's had the front diff has been replaced. I've been told it has 411 diff gears in it. Has an auto locker in the front. Actually has an ARB air locker in the rear. Has sway bar disconnects. So ARB air compressor. Has got an aftermarket head unit in it. It's got some aftermarket seats. The snap-on screwdriver gear shift. There's a heap of other little bits and pieces that have been done to it to spruce it up. So yeah, on the surface it looks like a really good car. It looks like we got a great deal. I still got a good deal on it, but yeah. Now we'll go over all the bad points. So has got the 4 litre 6 in it that I think's done a crank angle sensor, because it was running but it's not anymore. All the tyres, it has got 35s on it, but the tyres are all shot. So the previous owner said it's got a bit of a steering issue, which that's not helping. I don't think that's helping either. I believe the two steering arms are actually rubbed together just there. As you can see, it needs a good clean out inside. The rear seat is there, but not actually installed. There's an old fan belt. Judging by that one, it's might need some pulleys looking at. She's had a big whack here in the tailgate. All this corner's pushed in and it's all dented. All the spare wheel brackets missing off it. See the bow in that. But the soft top's in good condition, that's been replaced. Those seats have got to go. So anyway, you're probably asking yourself why I traded my Grand for this. and why I really need another four-wheel drive. So the idea behind this car, is it does need a bit of tidying up. There's some more issues that I haven't even got into yet. Yeah, a couple of big selling points. One, the thing's manual, and I've got a couple of kids that are getting pretty close to learning to drive and getting licenses. So we need a manual car for them to learn to drive in, and yeah, I'm not sort of willing to let them learn to drive in my ute, so we got them. That's the idea behind this thing. And it just needs a tune up and it needs tidying up, which is a good starting point to teach them how to actually work on cars as well, as opposed to throwing them in the deep end on some of my projects, which require massive engine swaps and full building suspension, but we'll work them up to that. Anyway, like I said, yeah, there's still more issues that I haven't got into. So from the last clip, my plan was I was going to throw a crank angle sensor in this thing so it runs again, and then we'll continue on from there. But threw that in, didn't fix it. Ended up actually throwing a cam angle sensor in at the same time, just after that, and that didn't fix it. So I kind of ignored it for a little while I went and did other things. But back on it. So at the point of putting a cam angle sensor in it, and a new cap and leads, actually found, if I can get the camera all the way in here, I actually found that the distributor's all worn out, so it's not keeping a gap on the cam angle sensor, and at this stage I believe that's my actual no start issue. So I've got a new distributor, and should just be that one bolt down there. I'll slide it out, put a new one in it, and see if that fixes it. I might grab an air hose and blow this off real quick. Alright, cleaned out around it a bit more. Now, carefully pull this distributor out. With this out, you can really see how much movement's in it. And that's why we're having trouble keeping our timing. Or it's getting too close and not actually sending a signal. So, poor old distributor, I think it's kind of had it. Time for a new one. So here's our new distributor, straight from Rock Auto. And yeah, definitely, well, it's probably not as good as a genuine Mopar one, but fraction of the price. And yeah, I can't see why it won't work. It doesn't have the slop in it like the old one, which is good. So we'll get this one shoved in here and then put all the leads on it and see if it wants to go. We're a tooth out. The drive for the oil pump is actually out fractionally. It just goes like that. Righto, all the leads are back on it. Coil lead, distributor's tightened down, plugged back in. Now, fingers crossed, and we'll see if it starts. now this is leaning towards ECU. So I'm going to go and read my workshop manual and see if I can work out how to troubleshoot this thing. So I'll be back. Alright, so after our crank no start from putting the new Dizzy in, which I thought was going to fix this thing, and you heard it really didn't, have sourced another ECU. So yeah, for everything we've looked into, pretty sure this is the actual cause of our issues. So I'll get this thing mounted up, which it lives here, right here behind the battery. From what I can tell is part of the reason these things die. So pretty straightforward. It's got 3 screws in it, 3 big plugs. So we'll get that thrown in and see if this fixes it. So interesting one, straight off the bat, the volt gauge comes up and the fuel light is now on, which that actually wasn't on before. Replace the computer and outrun. Oh, fucking thing. I've never had that before. Alright, so it's a giant relief. It actually runs. So the computer was the issue. So yeah, now that I've got it actually running, I can start to address some other things, because sort of wondering what to throw at it without it actually working. So I said now we'll fix some other issues, like this belt that's no good. I did put plugs and leads in it, all except number 1, because to get to number 1 you need to pull the aircon compressor off. So the hose has about had it. So yeah, if it's got to come off, I'll change the belt. And there's a couple of pulleys, it's a bit hard to see. Get you in there. You see it? The belt's walking off the front of that pulley. So that pulley is actually worn out. So I have new pulleys for it, and I have a new belt. So we'll get all this pulled apart and replace them. So I'm learning along with this as we go. Pretty sure it's that pulley down there is the adjuster. So we'll loosen it. In here there's a bolt that puts tension on it, so we'll back that off. Pulling the bloody flares off this car. Yeah, back that off so we can pull this belt off. And once it's off, then I can pull that compressor off. over there, and then I can actually replace number 1 spark plug and lead. Alright, AC compressor's laid off to the side, so you pull the belt off, these 4 bolts, 2 connectors, and you can just lay it off. Look at my AC line, I think that needs to be replaced, but anyway. And then I can get to number 1 spark plug, which saw was Tyler Thompson replacing these on his brother-in-law's TJ the other day, and complaining about this being a Jeek thing. It's not necessarily a Jeek problem, because if you've ever tried to put plugs into old GMs, like old Statesmans with aircon, they have all the same sort of issues. Air conditioning is a real afterthought. I mean, it's a car with no roof. Like, I can guarantee when they designed it, aircon was not huge on their priority list. And when this engine was designed, it really wasn't high on the list. So it is a bit of a pain, but at the same point, it's not that much work to actually pull it apart. So anyway, I'll get this lead and this plug out and throw a new one in. That's got the plug out, and it's definitely rich, but a lot of that could have been the old computer, the way it was running. So well, got these fancy ones from Rock Auto. I think we're on clearance at the time, so got a good deal on them. Got those, new spark plug lead, and we can put all this back together. Alright, leads in, plugs in, compressors back on. So now got some new pulleys as well, and a new drive belt, because the old one's now a 4 rib, not a 5. So get these thrown on, and at least this part will be all buttoned up. Alright, compressor's back on, belts are back in, as it's running, new belts on. A little bit of messing around, so I replaced the pulleys because it's walking off the front of one pulley there. But this pulley, it's walking off the front of that pulley. Put a new pulley on, it's actually exactly the same. So I found where the pulley mounts is not straight anymore, it's actually started to pull into the aluminium on that bracket. So I had to pull all this bracket off, and as best I could have filed it fairly flat, which it's not perfect, but it's not walking off the front of that pulley or making a horrible noise anymore. So we're gonna run it, and if another one of these brackets comes up, I'll grab it and swap it over. Righto, so I think we're gonna call this the end of this video. Yeah, like I said, the motor's all running now, so that ECU was the issue all along, but that's sorted. And like I said, I got the belts sorted out, so the drive belt might actually live for a while now. I don't know how long it's been like, but I think I pulled 2 belts out of the back of the car that were a bit narrower than they should be, and there was one on the motor that had also started to wear down. So anyway, but yeah, that's where we'll leave this video at. And yeah, if you enjoy the video, leave a like, comment if you've got any input, yeah, if you had similar experiences with these problems, and yeah, if you've got any ideas of what to do with this car, just throw it down in the comment section. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and yeah, if you enjoyed the video, go check out some of the others I've got, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. So, thanks for watching.